Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, today we are going to get into a divine feminine and masculine mirrored reading. And I'm just going to start with the collective energies at this time. So what can we see for the twin collective that joins me here? Divine feminines on the left, divine masculines on the right. And the connective energy, what can we see for the theme of energy going forward in the near future? Okay, divine feminines are getting solar plexus chakra, so empowerment. The connection space is getting cosmic flower. Divine masculines are getting soul time. And into the future, we're getting transparency. Awesome. Okay, so those aside. So for the divine feminines, we're getting the frequency of solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Saw 111 when I said that. So let's get some clarifiers and see what are the divine feminines meant to know regarding this connection, their own contribution to the whole. So what is the divine feminine contribution at this time to the twin dynamic, to the whole of the twin dynamic? Let's start there. So divine feminines, what is it that we will see? Two of Cups in the reverse, Lord of Love, but it's in the reverse. So it's your half, your cup, your self-love. Each one of these cups is representative of the love we give ourselves, and then we have it to share. So this is you coming into your own divine feminine with your whole cup of love for yourself regarding commitment. So it is your sacred honor to advocate for that cup of love so that you can bring solid, valid offering to this connection. That means being wise, balanced, whole. I'm really getting the messages to go into all of the insecurities, the worthiness issues, the jealousy, the imbalances, and no, it's not just your responsibility to heal trust issues. Many of the trust issues are legitimate. The relationships, the experiences that you may have had, if you are an intuitive divine feminine and have had trust issues, please do not beat yourself up that you somehow are deficient. You quite realistically could have been picking up on an inability in your partner to show up and be fully trustworthy, fully healed, to the degree that you are sensitive and can see their heart or feel their love towards you. Just because you've had trust issues does not mean that it's been just your unhealed parts that has indicated a trust issue. I wish I could word that more clearly. I hope that made sense. It's not just the other person either, and it does not mean that you're not worthy if someone isn't able to give you their whole heart. In many ways, humanity is just remembering how to show up in these ways to that depth. So you are meant to bring your heart to the table, healed and whole, but not into dynamics that don't warrant that aren't reciprocal, that aren't ready. And again, that does not mean you're not worthy. So that's the first thing. And then we're getting Three of Pentacles, Lord of Material Work. Interesting. This card says Lord of Material Work, and when I get the Three of Coins in the reverse, it's the underlying energy below the surface. So it's no longer just about working on things for working on things' sake. This is knowing the energetics, being masterful, understanding what the dynamics and systems are beneath the surface that create the reality, the material reality. So in that sense, we shouldn't just work hard and toil in the material realm hoping that that's going to be sufficient. This is about seeing clearly, empowering yourself, allowing yourself to stay with a train of thought so that you do discover what the patterns are. And so you do have accountability. So you are truly empowered. The solar plexus chakra is true empowerment. And so this is where energy doesn't lie. And you do validate that you are sensitive. And then we get the 10 of Pentacles, Lord of Wealth, and this brand new beginning. So this is long-term success and a whole new ball game from this point of empowerment, Divine Feminines. So this is the knowing of who you are and being able to see what your contribution can be from that point of wisdom. Beautiful. So cosmic flower. Let's do actually the masculine. So soul time. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So divine masculines are understanding they are soul, they are cosmic. These divine love orchestrations are more of the eternal, the spiritual, the energetic, whatever paradigm you come from. And that there is that compatibility, there is that alignment with the feminine. I find it interesting that the feminines are talking about Lord of Wealth, the 10 of Pentacles. And in that sense, it's not just material wealth. It's this energetic thing under the surface that creates a fully abundant, fully alive life that focuses on what really matters, that is ready. And then this Fool, the leap of faith into this whole new reality. And we get, allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge. So there is a readiness and a mirroring here. But let's get some cards for the divine masculines who are coming into soul alignment. This means that all of the earthly paradigms that would act as an obstacle, so you name them, karmic contracts, differences, geographical differences, age differences, religious differences, social, economic, cultural, any kind of we're too different kind of assessment, it does not hold water when we're looking at the eternal and this soul connection. So the masculines are waking up to eternal love in a soul connection, on a soul connection level in these connections. And so this means that you are allowing divine masculines for a new reality to come in, where these obstacles are secondary. What can we see for clarifiers for the divine masculines looking at soul time? You're getting Princess of Pentacles, Princess of the Echoing Hills. So echoes ricochet off of things, and so divine masculines are seeing this reverberation in the connection between their feminine and themselves, the connection, the soul, this, I heard primordial om that is shared, this knowing, the baseline frequency. And 7 of Swords, Lord of unstable effort in the reverse. So I just heard it's as simple as putting 2 and 2 together. So divine masculines are realizing they've tried to make karmic situations work. They've tried to have success with whatever paradigm they've thought they should uphold to find success in love, in life. And secretly, none of that has worked. It's been unstable effort. It has not produced the results they've desired. And yet these connections, against all odds, are so simple, so real, by against all odds, I mean, circumstances, the cliche deal breakers, obstacles, there's always just this one thing that in these connections, aside from that, it would be perfect, right? And so that's this vibe here. They're realizing that on a soul level, they've never met anybody so simply perfect, aside from that one thing that they've been taught, conditioned, imprinted to think is a deal breaker. But the love and energy doesn't lie. So divine masculines are really considering that soul level recognition that makes all of this so very simple. And they're allowing for the possibility, they're entertaining this relationship in light of whatever that deal breaker obstacle thing is, not needing to be important. So they're saying, if that thing didn't matter, how would I feel about this connection? And they're seeing that it is absolutely a game changer. That's beautiful. Cosmic flower. I just saw 1111. Cosmic flower. The frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. This is in the connection space. Home energy in the connection space. And that Om frequency, we do pour that creation out into the world when we are on that home base energy, belonging, grounding. We offer our best into the world from that safe space. What can we see for the masculines offering their best into the world because of the feminines, because of these connections? 10 of Wands, Lord of Oppression. So there is no oppression, no oppressive force that cannot be overcome. Exactly. This is in the reverse. So divine masculines are putting down the adherence to the oppression. They are no longer obeying the oppressive conditionality that has kept these relationships at bay. They're saying, F it. That doesn't hold power over me. This feels like home. That oppression does not win the day. Divine feminines, what are they thinking about this cosmic flower? 4 of Cups, Lord of blended pleasure. Where there's a will, there's a way. Divine feminines, it landed on this 10 of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. The divine feminines know what they know about these connections. They're very intuitive, and they really do feel like there's never been a connection where there's been more pleasure. Lord of blended pleasure. The feminines are saying they can't have this kind of pleasure anywhere else because of this home-based energy. This is the frequency generator, this meeting place in the home-based, compatible connection space here. There's so much pleasure, and that expression into the world as a result is next level. The feminines are recognizing that. Okay, and transparency, 43, I love that number. The energy of transparency supports our expansion towards a higher vibrational state of being with more insight, honesty, and clarity. This is what's coming for the twin connection, for the twin collective. So how are the masculines going to be experiencing this? Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, amazing. Knight of Swords. So Knight of Swords in the reverse, this is communication. It's not direct communication, but we do have purpose and divine feminine. So transparency, divine masculines are entering into a phase of taking example from you, divine feminine, honest example, insightful example, clarity about who you are, what you represent. So divine masculines, you're taking instruction from your divine counterpart for your life purpose, for your path forward, for your inspiration. Literally, divine masculines are being honest going forward about how instrumental you are, divine feminine, without maybe telling you, unfortunately, we don't have communication of this. It might be too soon for them to realize how instrumental you are, but something about your energy, your insight, your example is giving divine masculines newfound zest for life, inspired ideas, passion. I want to clarify that communication card and see why it's in the reverse. I need to. What is it? King of Pentacles, because they don't want to come forward prematurely before they have established this energy that you are a match for. Divine Feminine's already got the King of Pentacles. So until they are in this knowing that they can come good fully, they are keeping back a little bit here. So it's inspiration at this point so that they can align, I just heard. No news is good news, I also just heard. So yes, the divine masculines are wanting to embody. This card has a dog for loyalty, and look at that smirk, that delightful smirk. So divine masculines, they're up to something, and it's a good surprise, feminines. They are using your example, your energy as a inspired motion right now to come into their full potential, embodiment, to take something to the next level in their own right. What are the divine feminines going to be bringing to the table with this transparency? We get Three of Cups, Lord of Abundance, and the Chariot, the Lord of the Triumph of Light. These came out on the neutral. And so again, this is divine feminines, your own empowerment, your own wholeness, your own expression into the world, your service, your purpose, your own abundance. We're not looking for the abundance of our masculine. We are not damsels in distress. Take gender how it resonates. Feminines in distress. We are abundant. We are whole. We do not need to wait for our masculine to step onto mission. It will only be exponential, next level, better once this groundwork is established. So everybody's coming into their own right now, developing their skill sets, taking their own sovereignty to the next level, innovating their own ideas, and coming into more of a purity, a clarity in their own right, a higher vibrational state, which allows for these connections to overlap without damage. If connections come in prematurely, people aren't healed, karma ensues. We get confused. We aren't stable. We're not emotionally balanced. We can have issues. Karmic relationships have issues. These connections are in preparation for when they will be smooth sailing and beneficial. Divine timing. Okay, beautiful. So let's see what we can now about all the chakra levels with the twins. So thank you, Divine Creator. What are the energies the counterparts are navigating at this time on all the chakra levels? Got a whole bunch of decks because I'm doing divine. Oh yeah, those are going to be divine feminine. I was going to do divine masculine, but I keep almost saying feminine, so let's do divine feminine. Oh, things are changing up. Didn't split properly. Bear with me. What can we see for each of the chakra levels for the counterparts? Two more decks. Oh, everybody. We're getting a growing list of the Crystal Dig participants, and there are still a couple of days, a few days, 3 days left, something like that. If you want to be a part of the Crystal Dig in May, second half of May, there's a couple of dates. Please pop your email below, or sorry, not your email, message below, and I will give you my email, or you can reach out through my website contact form. Put in the heading crystal dig, something like that. Okay, what can we see for divine masculines, divine feminines, and the connection space? Crown chakra, seal of Venus, elemental magic, self-love, and protection. We're getting divine downloads right now, I just heard, regarding self-protection. So as we go through a level up, we are coming into an increase of transparency and clarity, like we saw in the first part of the reading, which means we are purifying our own energy right now in order to come into further connection on a deeper level. So it's like that with the growth rings or the growth spurts. We go through this refining, clearing, expansion, and then we come back together. I think I'm being reminded of this diagram where we're together, we kind of grow, we push away so we can grow more, and then we keep expanding like that. So we're being shown our growth right now, and it has this self-love flavor to it. We're being protected right now in that tender. I'm seeing a tender shoot under a glass greenhouse. We're being kept in our own space right now, protected, so we can come through the tender process of this growth spurt in our individual ways right now. So really allow for any of the directions from divine source, from higher guidance, to show you how you can bring more self-love into your world right now. Feminines, know your worth, yeah, and love is the way. So your worthiness. So this feels like divine feminines, no more storylines of my masculine isn't choosing me, so I'm not worthy, I don't deserve love, I'll never have love, all of that stuff. If you have anything that you tell yourself about your worthiness that causes you suffering, it's not a truth. Go back into meditation and ask to be shown a different way of assessing what's happening. 2222, that does not cause you suffering. Divine feminines, know your worth. You are worthy of love, feeling good. So any storylines you're telling yourself about this connection, about the timing of it, any aspect of it, or your life in general that put you into suffering, keep with it until you work your way out of that suffering from what you're shown in that meditation. What are the masculines experiencing right now? 9 of Swords, so some anxiety about the long term. Divine masculines, love yourselves immensely so that you take care of this anxiety, so that you know your capacity to come into long-term success. Your anxiety is also showing you where you're out of alignment. I saw 2323. And so if you are in anxiety, feminines, if you're in self-worth issues, it's being felt. Feminines, you might be feeling self-worth issues because your masculine is anxious, and you might be misreading that energy. Divine masculines, it might be ricocheting that way for you. But anxiety is telling you, it's pointing you to where you are not in alignment, divine masculine. So if you want to come into alignment with long term, ask yourself what your anxiety is telling you. Usually it's a big discrepancy between what your heart says and what you're telling yourself. So take those thoughts captive and work your way into more of a heart-aligned assessment of what's going on. On the third eye chakra, what can we get? Dimensional planes of perception number 2, portals, possibilities, and options. So everybody has the ability to envision new potentials based on new interpretations of what you're tuning into. So usually the third eye is an internal flashlight that sheds light on what's going on within us. our thoughts, our assessment of things, our responses. It can pick up on, our third eye can scan our emotions, our thoughts, our physical body for cues, muscle testing, or fear versus love, or thoughts that we need to reconsider. The third eye can find these portals, possibilities and options. So using the third eye for that purpose, the Divine Feminines, you are never alone, and a fresh start in the physical. You're not abandoned. You're not forsaken. You're never alone. You have the divine connection. You have your spirit guides. You have the ancestors. You have your friends. You have other romantic options if your divine counterpart is not coming forward. You're never alone. Fur babies, companions, children, hobbies, networking, special interest groups. You are not an island. You're not isolated. So you have options. You are holding yourself back, feminines, if you don't feel like you have these options available to you for new starts. So you may have come to the top of a growth curve, and now it's time to branch out into new groups, new people around, new hobbies, new directions. A fresh start in the physical, that can be with passion projects, that can be dating other people. If the person you're watching this for is simply not coming forward, if you feel it's time to open up your life, this can be that too. This can also be divine counterparts coming back around, and you preparing for that by believing that even that is possible. If that's what your heart is telling you, give yourself full permission to honor that. You're never alone. There is a fresh start coming in the physical. Divine masculines, what can we see? The Eight of Swords, trapped and powerless in the emotions. Father of Cups, King of Cups. There's a lot of emotion pent up, and you're holding yourself back, divine masculines. So there are alternatives to bottling up your emotions, carpet sweeping, stuffing them down. You don't have to do that. This is saying that if you tune into your intuition, divine masculines, you can find a way to open up emotionally, to be emotionally available, to be more transparent, to find the clarity that will allow you to put your emotions into words, to tell yourself it is not weak to express them, and to see where you're holding yourself back. You can use your third eye right now to see other ways of showing up and expressing your emotions. So divine feminines, this fresh start in the physical might just be your divine counterpart finding ways to speak more transparently about their emotions. Divine masculines, your feminine, I just heard, what is that? I never get it right. It's like, would you like to be right and alone, or just get along? I forget how that sentence goes. Somebody tell me. I always mess that one up. But it's kind of like that. Divine feminines are putting down the fear that makes it unsafe for a masculine to express. And so you're never alone. It's like feminines are able to hold space. They are understanding what it means to be a good listener, to be able to not pounce on the masculine for expressing some of these honest truths that are wanting to emerge. What are we seeing on the throat chakra? And I'm getting this strange throat chakra thing right now. Stimulation, excitation, and acceleration, subatomic velociter. So literally communication is speeding up. There is a pull to communicate, a pull for the counterparts to express with this newfound transparency. It's going to inform this next cycle so that there will be an increase of collaboration. Okay, learn from the past, and things are getting heavy and I need to let go for the feminines. So there are certain thoughts, certain ways of communicating, certain fears that are needing to be released in preparation. So divine feminines, you might be seeing that certain patterns in the past were not productive. Let those go. You are feeling like you won't take this silence, the distance, the blocking, the hot and cold, the ghosting anymore. And when you actually let go and say, I love myself more than to sit and wait and wish that this person is going to come out of it, as soon as you do that, the energy smooths out. You're good either way, but your counterpart also feels that. And that does actually allow them to feel like the coast is clear to come out. So when you hang on to unforgiveness or anger, animosity, resentment, there's an energetic wall that your person can feel. So you need to let go of that. That does not mean you should get ahead of yourself and just blindly accept whomever is like coming towards you. Some of the people you're watching for may not be healed masculines, may not be divine masculines at all, may be karmic partners. So it's not just to take things blindly as they come, but let go and tell yourself you can decide and cross those bridges as it comes. You don't have to lord the past over people. If they don't change their ways, don't sweat it. Be wise and let go. But if they do, and you're in this energy, it's just perpetuating the pain. So you have to have an openness to see what is actually there rather than what you think should be there or what you think is there. And you might be feeling like a lot of that kind of awareness is coming to you about needing to release or desiring to let go. On some level right now, that does not mean this isn't your counterpart or they're not going to come forward. That means you are preparing for the best chance of success with this person or someone else. What can we see for the masculines? 5 of Cups and the Hermit. So there's a grieving process. Divine masculines are going through some kind of grieving here, and it's all they can do. They're in hermit mode. It's actually speeding up with this excitation, acceleration card. So if the divine masculines have gone into hermit right now, it's because they are actually doing a grieving process of things that haven't worked out, things in this connection, possibly letting go of karmic partners. Unfortunately, I'm hearing death of loved ones for some. There are a lot of rites of passage going on for the divine masculines right now that are pointing them more firmly into their destined path. And they're in their shell to think about these things right now so they can communicate, so they can let go and not have this filter of pain, suffering going on for when they come into contact with the divine feminines. Yeah, so there's a lot of shedding here, divine feminines, which means your divine counterpart is likely changing. And so you can let go of the past as well, so that you can both come together and talk on a more balanced, healed level. Heart chakra, divination, intuition, inner vision. So this is a third eye heart alignment here, head and heart. Rescued reflections. There's a lot of heart work going on right now, empathy between twins I'm hearing, and a lot of third eye assessment of the histories and the potentials and adjusting the heart based on compassion. For the feminines, we get trust in the magic and spooky action at a distance. Yeah. So you're seeing the divine signs and synchronicities over the course of your connection, divine feminines, and your intuition is opening your heart. It's giving you another layer of permission to say, I trust this love. I trust that if this isn't my counterpart, that I have been right where I've been supposed to be, or where I've been divinely positioned, because the magic is happening. I don't need to know what the outcome will be. I just need to trust in the process. Trust that this elaborate reality that I've been dancing in with my counterpart is not in vain, that it's there for a reason. So drop into the heart and just trust, feminines. It hasn't been a trick. You haven't been crazy. These things happen when we expand in our consciousness. We see these uncanny parallels. It's all there to teach you. It's all there to teach you connection. I heard namaste, self in other, unity consciousness. What can we see for the masculines on the heart space? Oh, Ace of Cups, unconditional love, Ace of Wands. So here's that inspired motion because of the love that is here, that is demonstrated on the heart space for the masculines from you, Divine Feminine. They believe in themselves. Divine Masculines, you are tapping in and using this connection with your feminine as inspired information deep, deep on the heart. You know there is love here. You know that your feminine represents love, and that is a truly inspirational thing right now. I love you like no other, I just heard, and I got the goosebumps. Oh, I got the shivers. Yeah, so this can also represent the growing passion. It's a very phallic card. So Queen of Wands did come out with this. So your divine counterpart, your divine masculine, really thinks of you as the sexiest, most beautiful creature for them. You really light their fire. They're starting to see how unconditional love is becoming so attractive. What can we see on the solar plexus chakra? Mastery, accountability, and acceptance. So everybody's mastering ego, dropping agendas, dropping storylines, empowering in our own right, becoming sovereign, balancing out, not putting things on the other. Feminines, what's going on? Truth transcends illusion, the truth below the surface. Truth, truth, truth. Clarity, truth, honesty. This is the empowered truth. We've got truth and truth. Truth transcends illusion. So anything that you have told yourself about your counterpart, about this journey, truth transcends illusion. So if it's been suffering, if it's caused suffering, it's illusion. The truth shall set you free. The truth doesn't sell seashells at the seashore. The truth below the surface, drop into the heart. Drop into the truth. It's the balancing energy. That does not mean that it's just a misconception in our own right if we feel unbalanced. Again, we might accurately be picking up on an imbalance in another. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't pretend. Don't carpet sweep that. Don't dismiss that that's there. Don't engage with it on the level that you would if that truth or the connection was ready to anchor. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't convince your emotions that you should cling or long for something that's not ready yet. If you're picking up on an imbalance, it may be justified, but that doesn't mean we need to get overly emotional or hurt that that person doesn't love us enough to change or do better. That change needs to be authentic, or we need to align with somebody who is more well-matched and compatible with what we know to be real, grounded, practical, authentic love. So truth below the surface and truth transcends illusion. Trust what you're getting, feminines. Use that as a balanced, humble knowing. And likewise, see your counterpart authentically. Don't put them on a pedestal or pretend they're something they're not, good or bad. Don't demonize them. Don't pedestal them. The truth. So this is mastery. Your empowerment, your worthiness comes from being able to stay balanced with what is authentically there. What are the masculines knowing on this? Death and Mother of Pentacles. So this is nurture, the transformation. This is the home is where the heart is energy entering in again. It sits well with my soul. Its gut instinct is saying, this is where home is, where the heart is. Divine masculines are feeling this mastery in themselves. They are accepting this connection as home. I just heard. That is incredible. That is beautiful. What are we seeing on the sacral chakra? Metatron star, exaltation, brilliance, triumph, and victory. So sacral, this is the sexual union. There's victory coming in here. The sacral chakra has, I just peeked and saw unification on the root chakra. We're going to get to union energies next. But victory in this intimate, sensual level. What are we seeing for the feminines? Nothing is wasted. The more the merrier. This is the free flow. This is the abundance, the Three of Cups. It can be third-party energies, so there is victory regarding third parties. This connection wins. Not that it's a competition, but this is the more pure. This is the exalted connection. This is the one where the unconditional love lays. And so this is now this unconditional friendship. This is the foundation. Nothing is wasted. Even the third-party experiences have not gone in vain. Divine feminines, there's so much value in having come through the authentic exploration of these things. We can learn from all of it. And this is bringing peace. It's coming through all of these lessons. Now there is a knowing of how each counterpart would handle that kind of a thing, a knowing the grass isn't greener, a full picture of experience. Nothing is wasted. And for the masculines on the sacral, 10 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords. So this healing of the sacral and the inconvenient truth of third-party situations might have been one of the reasons for blocking. This is the card of blocking. So divine masculines could have been at a crossroads where they have felt like they've needed to choose a sexual partner or switch a paradigm regarding this connection being their sexual preference. So take that how it resonates. That can be sexual orientation. That can be all of the obstacles and deal breakers. Family won't like, religious differences, again, age differences or geographical distances. All of the different factors that could come in for the long term. The divine masculines are siding for victory in these connections because their abundance, their hearts, their knowing is winning over whatever other paradigm they have been told or assume would not agree with these connections. So this truth is being seen by the masculines, that these connections offer the 10 of Pentacles, the long-term victory. And we get the last card, the root chakra, seal of clairsentience, clarity, knowledge, channeling, and unification. For the feminines, we get on the move and time for beginner's mind. So here's that leap of faith fool card again that we got, divine feminines, about the sacral chakra empowerment, your autonomous movement in the world. Some are moving. This is the chariot card. This can be travel, moving locations, all of that. Time for beginner's mind. Divine feminines, you're in uncharted territory. This is unity consciousness where you're not holding back your sovereign path at this time, whether you're in physical relationship with your DM or not. You are making the moves that are best for you. This can also mean that some big decisions are happening so that the connections can align further. So don't be superstitious about your decisions, divine feminines, and cross every bridge as it comes, but it does look like there's time for a brand new cycle with some movement here. On the feminine side, if you are guided to make certain changes, this may resonate, and you will know if the changes you're being guided to make will be putting you closer into proximity for union. There is a new cycle, a new level of navigation coming in. Again, don't make any choices for your counterpart. Make them for your highest and best. And then you will notice if it's your counterpart, it continues to align. It continues to be things that bring you one step closer. But don't do things for your counterpart that way. Don't not do them because you're worried that your counterpart might misinterpret or others would misinterpret. Do the things authentically that are in alignment for you. And the masculines on the root chakra, 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. Boom, this is inner union, divine masculines. This is sovereignty. This is single energy. This is you taking care of what is actually best for you on a sovereign, autonomous level and wishing for it, knowing you have all these options. You have all of this resource available to you. It's time to choose wisely. So this is also ending the codependency so you can match and meet your feminine in this perfected connection at this time. Wow, so union is here. We have a foundation at the root chakra with union. So there are some unions coming in, I just heard. What can we see for one last card for Heart of the Pentagon, joy, playfulness, and pleasure. Align with this beautiful joy, everybody. Let that be your guide. Go towards it. Follow your bliss. Many blessings, and bye for now.